Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. This is Ali Drafter, your guide and mentor. Today, let's talk about debt collectors again. But this time, what are some of the things that you need to do proactively to prevent them from hurting you further than they already are right now? One of the most important things you need to understand when it comes to debt collectors is that they will report negative items right off the get-go, right? They have an obligation to send you validation. One of the biggest things that happen when it comes to validation is a lot of these debt collectors basically send you a statement from the original creditor, whoever it is, that they're collecting on their behalf. That is okay, but here's the thing. To report on the credit reports, there has to be an obligation of an account that was created with a creditor, an original creditor. There has to be an agreement, which typically we know this could be online and so on and so forth with an application process and a permissible purpose demonstrating that an account was open due to that fact. But beyond that, what happens is debt collectors have a tendency of just simply using outdated templates of structures and simply saying that, look, this information that we have on you is essentially you. We know this is you and that you're the one who owes this debt and you owe us this money and we're going to collect this money no matter what happens. Now, you have to be careful with that because essentially what is happening based on that information is that a lot of people get scared and then they agree and they say, okay, sure, yeah, this probably is mine. I have to pay this and I owe this amount of debt. On the other side, you have to be extremely cautious because, sure, you have to be careful when you accept that agreement. But another thing is a lot of people think that if you say to the debt collectors that, look, I don't want to have this account on my credit reports, I will pay you. Can you remove it? And the debt collectors say, yeah, sure, we'll do that. The one thing that you have to keep in mind is that they don't necessarily guarantee that. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might have success, a lot of people might not. And of those who don't, which is over 80% of the situation, the debt collectors are just messing around to get paid. They don't have an obligation to you in order to fix that and remove it from the credit reports just because you said so. And even though they may have verbally said it, there's nothing in writing demonstrating that, right? Unless otherwise they send you documentation and paperwork, which in that case you have enough evidence that this is the instance that you can use this and leverage this in order to get those negative items removed or that debt collection item removed. So that's pretty cool, right? So one of the things there is also that now that we know there is no guarantee of them removing the item, now we don't know that they can't promise you that and they just simply won't listen. They can do whatever they want. What happens next, right? So the first thing you need to understand is the law that states that debt collectors can remove items upon getting paid is actually illegal. There is no such thing that they can do. And the reason why, it's because when you are a company, whether a collection agency or creditor, or attempting to be a creditor to report to the bureaus, you have to go through something called a subscription agreement. The subscription agreement is between the credit reporting agencies and me as a company, independent company. During that process, what happens is there's an audit that's done. Physical location visit by all three credit bureaus, depending on who you want to report to. And once they review your situation and they review the reports and they review how you collect information about customers, which is essentially the sensitive data, how are you securing that data, in addition to your on-site visit, which is basically the location and everything, and to make sure that you're compliant when it comes to finally reporting to the bureaus and pulling the data, which is an essential part of reporting. You have to make sure that you pull enough. The other side to it is they give you a physical document or an agreement, whether it be virtually now. But what happens with that is that subscription agreement has a very detailed clause that specifically states that you cannot do a couple of things. You cannot break a few rules. The first of the many rule is primary seasoned trade lines. We talked about that quite a bit. See, a lot of people think primary trade lines, you can just go out there and any type of company you can apply with and they can season it. Now, there are companies that do that backhand, some mortgage companies and some attorneys and stuff like that. Here's the thing. It's actually not lawful to do so. It's not legal. But on the other side, right, you can only have that if you have a company that has issued an installment loan to you and it's been over 6 years. That's the only time that can be backdated. But you'd have to have a record of that authenticated, right? That you would have shown the customer was with you for a period of 6 years or more. And then that information is brought back to you in order to report to the bureaus. That's the first thing on the agreement. The second thing, which is a part of the rules and regulations is, and this is specifically for debt collectors who are collecting on behalf of the original creditor, is they cannot do a pay per delete. They cannot accept that as a condition to remove an account from the credit reports. And the reason why, it's because it's non-compliant, it's actually illegal, and you can actually be subject to removal of reporting to the credit bureaus as a company as a whole. So there's a lot of risk that runs around that. There's a subscription agreement. There's a lot of rules and regulations around that. And you might be asking yourself about me, about how I know these type of things. And the reason why it's because I've helped multiple companies in the past set up credit reporting. This was back in Wall Street days when I was doing investment banking on a very large level. And when companies were approaching me, specifically mortgage companies and third-party vendors, on how to get access to credit reports because they wanted to stay compliant. SEC was cracking down on some illegal activities and so on and so forth. So there's a whole lot of things that we adapted on the credit realm to really get educated and understand the processes to do this effectively. So this is why the subscription agreement with creditors and the credit bureaus is such a pivotal point when it comes to reporting and having the right to report. All these regulations and rules have to be followed. So when companies out there say that we're going to do seasoned primary chain lines or we're going to do paper deletes and so on and so forth, there's no guarantee of that. That's the first thing you need to understand. And number two, given the fact that you now know the knowledge and understand that that can be potentially legal, you cannot necessarily rely on bank on that to get the results that you're looking for, specifically when it comes to credit repair or credit enhancement in the matter of trade lines. So I just wanted to share this quick tip with you guys to understand the significance of this. And here's the cool part. We're going to deep dive into so many different elements of credit reporting in the short coming weeks. We're going to deep dive into 2021. It's going to be a year of a lot of knowledge, technical leverage of knowledge, technical information sharing with you guys, regardless if you're a business or a customer on a credit level, because you need to know this information because it'll help you get more informed. And when it comes to applying for credit, you'll have the right knowledge to use it to the best of your ability to get the results that you're looking for. In addition to that, we're going to be doing some private live streams. And the reason I say private is I'm actually going to be launching an all-access membership for those who want to join me. In that membership, groups of people will be able to join us. We're going to break down credit repair letters. We're going to work on case-by-case situations with customers. Those who are willing to share that is at least, it doesn't have to be sensitive information, but rather just on a generic basis. But I'll be able to create documents in front of the crowd that's going to be joining me. And then we're going to break down why we're doing it that way. We're going to use specific sets of strategies. And it's just going to be so much more fun coming up, right? So that's the plans for 2021. And we got so much to look forward to. But on that note, I hope you guys understood the importance and significance of dealing with debt collectors today. I gave you guys some tips and advice on what to expect. The best way, like I said, is just if they're non-compliant, a validation letter for sure, but request more than just that. Request accurate reporting if they're going to report, because that's part of the rules and regulations of reporting in the first place. Validation, yeah, it is a necessity in order to even collect. But the mere fact that they touched your credit reports puts them and subjects them to the laws of the FCRA and the privacy laws that are necessary to maintain accurate and compliant reporting, which is an absolute must because you're using eOscar, which depicts from its name, complete and accurate reporting. So I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Don't forget to share this video, subscribe, and turn the notifications on to all. If you're new here and if you want to enjoy learning about credit, building your wealth, and creating that financial transformation to get access to a lot of financial resources in the future, this is the channel to watch. In addition to that, I hope you guys have any specific questions related to today's video. And if you don't, leave a comment below and just let me know that you enjoyed the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. And with that said, this is definitely your guide and mentor, Ali Tarafter. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.